sharpening knives, and we got a lot of cows to do today, so we're just gonna get all the knives sharpened, and then let's show you guys cleaning.
So what we got here is a chain. So once the cow gets in there, is waiting to get trimmed, we just pull this chain down. So when she backs up, her butt goes against it, and then she can't back up all the way. It actually works pretty good. Very comfortable on the cow. This whole chute is pretty comfortable. It's as good as you're gonna get. And cow comfort is very important to us. And we just like to keep the cows healthy, and we like to take good care of them. We don't like them to get excited. They're gonna get a little excited hoof trimming, but we try to keep the adrenaline down as much as possible for them. And that way the cows don't get hurt, the people don't get hurt, and it's just unnecessary to get them all riled up. So this is the first cow today. It's this hydraulic hoof trimming chute made by Comfort Hoof Care down in Baraboo, Wisconsin. So this first foot here, you can tell, or I can tell, and a lot of you might be able to, but if you guys, there's not a lot of sole thickness, which is like, there's not a lot of cushion on the bottom of the foot to trim off, or a lot of, it's more imbalanced. So if you look from the top, and you look down, you can see that over here, when I hold the claws together, is higher than this inside, which is the medial claw. So what I want to do is balance these two heels right here. And I'm going to do that. This is my grinder. It's got carbide blades in it. But on her, it's going to be pretty important to do some knife work. And knife work is harder, but there's a fair amount of wear here, and we just don't want to overdo it. So she's got a good foot angle. If you look here, this gauge is about 50 degrees, and I don't know if you can see, kind of a bad, let me try from this side. You always check the medial claw, which is the inside, but her foot angle is right where it should be. So basically all we gotta do is balance. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Actually, Jared, let's do the front foot first. I always start up here on the left front and work my way around. And this foot's actually pretty good. I can get away with just using a knife on this one. So I'm just gonna go here, take a little bit off. If you take, when you're hoof trimming, it's not important to make the hoof look pretty. You want to make it functional. So just because it's nice, shiny, and white doesn't mean you did a good job trimming it. This hoof, that's all it needs. It's balanced. There's nothing else to do. You can see the heels are really healthy. There's nothing in between the claws. That's all we're gonna do with it. So that one's done. And then we're gonna go back here to the back foot that we were talking about first. And I'm gonna start the grinder up. Put it a little bit here. I'm just gonna touch it up with a knife. I'm gonna do, this is called modeling. If a cow has a problem in her feet, 90% of the time it's in the back feet, 90% of that time it's in this outside claw, and then, or on the right rear, no matter what, it's on the outside in the back or the inside in the front. And then 90% of that time, the problem is right up in here. So we want to model this out so that when she's standing and walking, she's not putting any pressure right here in this area. And that's going to help her from becoming lame or having a sore foot, in other words. If you hold it, if you look down, the heel, this is the heel. So you want these heels to be balanced across. You don't want the one to be higher than the other one when you get done. So then we'll go to the right front foot. These are called dew claws. These serve no purpose at all. They're just basically part of the animal, but they don't really serve a purpose. So we're gonna go ahead and check this hoof out. It's actually pretty good. Last time this cow was trimmed was like September, and there's really not much to take off. If we take any more than what I'm doing right here, we're doing too much. So it's actually a really good hoof. The angle is pretty good. It's actually good. And I'm gonna touch this dew claw up a little bit, and that's all I'm gonna do. So now we're on the last foot on this cow. The balance is actually is pretty good. We're just going to model right here and take this out. This is the part that grows the fastest on the cow. When a cow steps down, she puts weight on here, and that causes it to grow even faster yet because of the concussion. Like every time it hits something, it's telling the body, it's nature's way of telling the body to grow faster. So it's trying to grow more hoof here, but in the meantime, it's becoming unbalanced. And we need to correct that so that she doesn't put too much weight right here, because if it's thicker here, when she stands on it, she's gonna have more weight right here. And this is the typical area for lameness. So we're gonna model that out, clean this heel up, and see what else is going on in here. Again, this inside claw needs nothing taken off down here. On a cow's hoof, you can see this, there's all the way around the outside, and then about a third of the way up is the hardest part of the hoof, and that's called the horn. And basically, you don't want to take that off because that's the protection for the hoof. It's softer. Here you can see the line here? This is on the outside of here is the horn, and that's hard. So it's okay to be taking this off in here and trying to balance it up, but you do not want to start taking too much off the toes and rounding and going around the outside with the grinder and thinning this wall out. It's what supports the hoof, so you don't want to do that. Even though it looks nice when you're done, you're actually doing more harm than good. And she's got a little bit of heel erosion on this hoof. The blood is not a big deal. Up here, it's just, I was taking this loose stuff off with the grinder and was a little bit too aggressive on it, but it's just like a little nick here in the skin. It's perfectly, she'll be fine. So now we've got this all modeled out. There's nothing else to do. So we'll just write her number down. It's just a routine trim. And off to the next cow. Pretty basic foot again. I think we're gonna put the camera up so you guys can see basically how we're working around the chute and how everything's going, and talk to you after a while. I actually used to be a hoof trimmer, like I guess professional hoof trimmer for many years, over probably almost since I was right out of high school pretty much until 2016. So I had like about 20 years in of hoof trimming, and I've trimmed a lot of cows. There was a lot of years we trimmed 20,000 cows through a hoof trimming one shoot. So I've seen a few. And that's why a lot of people, a lot of farmers, they hire it done, but I feel that that is something that I really enjoy doing on our own, is the hoof trimming, and I feel that I can, I don't know, I guess I feel I do a pretty good job of taking care of the feet, and I'm proud of them. And that's one thing I would not want to give up, is having somebody else come in and trim our cows.